And welcome to another episode of Coffee at Camp. We have coffee and we're at camp today with Georgie. She is our office lady, secretary, admin, whatever you want to call her, and she's also the lifeguard at the pool. Right now, the pool's closed because there's a new coat of snow outside. But George has a wonderful coffee mug and she's going to tell us about it.
This is actually one of the Trail Ridge tumblers, so you can see the nice etched logo right there. And also another fun thing is it's great for putting stickers on. So just yeah.
And if you know anything about George, you know that she has an octopus obsession. So that's why that little squishy thing is on her coffee mug. I am just rocking the Trail Ridge Classic Campfire mug today. And those are available in the camp store, not online, but in the brick and mortar store here at camp. But something you can get in the online camp store, George is going to tell you about.
We actually have keychains. These are fairly new. I put one on my set of keys, you can see for scale, but they have our updated logo on them, kind of like a clear and navy blue keychain. So if you like keychains, get a Trail Ridge one. Show off the love.
I think these are the first keychains we've ever had
Yeah,
in the
for
camp
sure.
store. We've had lanyards and all sorts of other things, but now we have these cool keychains. One thing that is extremely satisfying is when you buy one from the store, there's typically a little piece of plastic over them, and you get to peel that off. It's a lot of fun. One of George's favorite things to do. But we, in this season of Coffee at Camp, are sharing camp stories, and today is no exception to that. So, George, what was the first time you came to camp? It was a little bit different, a little bit
Mhm.
strange at that time. That was 2018, was it?
Yes. I came as a teen volunteer actually for a couple weeks. I had never been here before, hadn't really heard much about the camp, but I had a friend who was counseling at another camp, and I was like, oh, it seems like it'd be fun to do. So I looked up summer camps in Wisconsin and volunteered here. So it
So
was
you
awesome.
you came that summer and you volunteered more as a CIT or counselor's assistant during that
Mhm.
summer. Not a position we currently have available, but then after that, then you transitioned to being a full-time counselor for the summer. George went on, got her lifeguard certification, and has maintained that. We appreciate that, and the campers do as well. But why counseling? Why was that such an important thing for you?
I really enjoyed working with kids, and I had been working in a daycare for a while. And I wasn't really like a kid that went to camp a ton, so I wasn't super knowing what I was getting into, but I fell in love right away with the camping ministry for sure.
So George spends a lot of her time nowadays in the office, and with that being the thing, she's often just kind of by herself doing her own thing. And so you may not get this from George if you just sit and talk to her at camp. But George is one of our staff members here that is probably one of the most, if not the most passionate about that element of camp in the interactions that we have with campers as it relates to not only their spiritual well-being, but for their safety, for their even for their mental health and so on and so forth. George has been really active in making trainings for that, and we're glad that that is the case. Anyways, we got to backtrack now. So George was here volunteering. She then came as a counselor. 2020 was a fun year.
Oh, yes. Yep. That year, I feel like I kind of understood kind of the behind the scenes of camp, which you don't really get as summer staff. And so I feel like that kind of helped me fall in love with Trail Ridge specifically because I saw all what went into making camp happen. So,
So you were one of the three interns, I think we called you that summer, that we
mhm.
brought on summer staff. It was a lot of fun. We did a lot of camp projects because in 2020 we didn't have summer camp, just because of the lack of interest from our campers and volunteers and so forth. And so with that, yeah, you got a really behind the scenes look into camp. After that, was it another summer? You came another summer
Mhm.
and counseled
Yep.
on
And
the
that's
summer
the
staff.
first year I was a lifeguard as well. So,
Okay, so
mhm.
lifeguarding, counseling that summer as well. And then we just knew that we couldn't survive here without George anymore. And that's when we offered her an internship. George has been here for quite a while, longer than many of our staff have been. We're grateful to have George on the team here. And I personally am very grateful for the work that George does in the office, keeping things organized, keeping the camper communication going well. Does a really great job with that. As you apply to work at camp, George has a hand in that as you apply or register to be a camper, all of those things. We've had some really great events that we've been involved in. You've been sending out the hilltop hollers, all that stuff. But one thing that George, she would like to tell you, but I'm going to tell you for her, we need guy counselors for this summer still, right?
Yes, we do.
So we call them cabin leaders now, but we still are needing some young guy, college age cabin leaders for this summer at camp. Hope that we get some good guys to join us. We've got a few on staff already and look to just deepen the bench a little bit with that. But that's all for this time. These times go so quickly. That's all for this week's Coffee at Camp. Check out the online camp store for your keychains and other cool stuff. That's all been updated and we're ready for your orders there. And we hope to see you people coming up at the Mother Daughter Retreat, the work weekend coming up, Senior Saints weekend, even before that, all kinds of stuff. And summer camp, those are already filling up some weeks now. So get signed up. What's the website?
Trailridge.org.
Trailridge.org. See you at camp.